One thing is unique about tonight. I don't have a PowerPoint. So I just want to clarify a couple of things. Conrad Bearing, I do remember the bartender at Felidia in New York City, and I went because of you. And I ordered the martini that Conrad recommended, and the bartender's talking to me, eye contact. He never looked at what he was doing. And he took a shaker, he poured gin in it, he put ice in it, he shook it, he took the glass, he poured the martini in the glass, and it came right up to the very top. One more drop, it would have just gone over the side. And I said, you never even looked at what you were doing. How did you do that? How did you learn to do that? He said, you don't learn that. You're born with that talent. But the difference is, it wasn't the New York Times article, it was Playboy. So, the other person I want to mention is, where's Roz? There's Roz. So, the DOJ was in a lawsuit with NAR, and they decided it'd be fun to take my deposition for 12 hours. And they sent me a big thing to fill out. And one of the first questions was, who is your immediate subordinate? So I said, Roz, is that you? And she said, I'm no one's subordinate. So it wasn't Roz, and we couldn't find anybody. So, and then the last thing I want to do is my truly good friend, Mark Woodruff over there, said, we don't always agree on everything. It'd be a hell of a mess if we did agree on everything, because what makes HR great is everybody doesn't agree on everything, and if we do, we have a real problem. But I don't have a better friend and anybody I respect more than Mark Woodruff, and he has an opinion about a lot of things, and most of them are right, and that's what makes us as a realtor family strong, is we have the ability to not agree on everything, because if we did, we'll never, ever move forward. So, Danny, you know, your idea was to have 30 people at the Tony's wine cellar and have a lunch. And then I said, well, you know, we live in a high rise. We got a downstairs party room. We could have 50 people over there and have Melina's cater it. And then you talk to Rob and Mick, and here we are. So I want to pay special tribute to a guy that's been my buddy for a long time, and that's County Judge Ed Emmett. And we were at we were at Ed and Gwen's home the other evening for a tree pack reception. And Ed welcomed everybody and said the right thing. And then Gwen said, okay, Ed, let me say something. Gwen, stand up. You got to stand up. So she said, let me tell you what you need to hear. We lived in Washington, D.C. We were moving to Houston, Texas. We went to HR.com. We found a home that I never physically saw, but because of all the information that HR.com had on it, we bought the home. We're living in it today. We love it. She went on for 15 minutes about HR.com. So she is the new PR person for HR.com. I want to say something about a couple of people, members of the HR family that are not here tonight. This is the tough part. So my career began in about 1970 when I lived in Austin, graduated from UT Law School, I had applied as lobbyist for the Texas Association of Realtors. The key guy that would make the decision as to who they hired was a guy named Howard Horn. And Howard Horn said, we need to do a job interview. I'll meet you at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon at the Houston Country Club Grill. I didn't even know where Houston was, much less the Houston Country Club and where the grill was. But I drove to Houston, met Howard. He was playing cards, drinking scotch. And we had about a 2-hour interview while he's playing cards and drinking scotch. And he said, you know, I really like you. You got the job. And that started a amazing friendship, and Howard was my mentor for many, 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 many years. And it's sad he's not here tonight because he was such a special guy in my life. The other person I want to mention, and I can't imagine what HR would be today if it hadn't been for Dick Hargis. And Holly is here tonight. We're so glad that you're with us tonight, Holly. If Dick had not agreed to pack up, and I hope you were supportive of that, and move from Austin, Texas, where no one wanted to leave, and move to Houston to be the legal counsel for HAR, I don't know what HAR and a lot of our brokers would be like today. That began 25 years because he became the legal counsel the same year I became CEO. Became 25 years of amazing friendship and total respect for Dick Hargis. I want to thank all of you that have contributed tonight with your comments. I could tell a story about every single past president here, whether it's Lynn Czar, who never got out of the ocean in Hawaii when they had the NAR convention there, or Rob Cook mentioned something about we couldn't get back to our hotel after dinner that night. It had nothing to do with the 2 martinis and 3 bottles of wine. It was the fact that we had been in a meeting all day long and we were exhausted and mentally tired. I mean, we get in a cab and they said, "Where are you going? What's your hotel?" We were like, "I don't have any idea. Do you remember, Rob?" We had no idea. But the other interesting thing about this thing, I don't even really drink, and everybody's talking about drinking, and they have pictures of drinking, and I don't know. Robin, thank you. What a tribute. What a great honor to have that. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Would everyone, I'm not going to name them, but when Robin and Danny decided to make it a little bit bigger, Renee Galvan, who's at a family wedding tonight and couldn't be here, said, "Okay, I'm going to get on the phone and raise some sponsor money." And he called the sponsors that we have tonight, and he said, "You know, that's the easiest thing I've ever done." No one said no, and everyone said, "By the way, can we come?" So if you are a sponsor, would you please stand and be recognized? Ben and Dale and others. Stuart, Supra, because without you, people would have had to pay and the room would have been a lot smaller. I can tell you that right now. So Charles McMillan is here. Charles is the only person in the room, I believe, that has been prior president of NAR. Unless anybody else has, they can stand up. And Charles had an incredible year. But what was exciting was getting there. Getting there. And Charles, at the NAR Board of Directors meeting, when they interviewed the 2 candidates, each candidate got to make a presentation. And I can tell you right now, I don't remember who the guy was that ran against you, and I don't remember a word he said. But I do remember what Charles said. And that applies to me. And Charles said, and I'm not going to give your speech, but I just want to paraphrase. Charles said, "I am a rich man. I'm not rich because of the money I have in the bank, or the country clubs I belong to, or the sports cars I drive, or the yachts. I'm rich because of the friends that I have, the realtor family, the people that make a big part of my life." Now, there wasn't a dry eye in the room when he got through speaking, and he kicked the guy's ass. I mean, he won huge. And we from Texas were so proud. And Charles came to Houston shortly after that, and we had, I think on my iPhone, I had videotaped his presentation, and we gave it to him and delivered it to his mom. And we're such big fans of yours, Charles. But you said it because when I look across the room, I think of family and I think of friends. And like the line blurs. I'm not sure who's the friend and who's the family because it kind of all runs together because we are one big realtor family. Good friends have driven that are here tonight all across Houston, from the Woodlands to Bay Area to you name it, some not so far, Conrad, Lorraine. But we've driven all over the place. So Houston is big, but a lot of people have come from all over the country tonight. I just want to give you an example, because I'm not going to introduce everybody. We'll be here all night. But there are people tonight from California, from Washington State, from Oregon, from Maryland, from Virginia, from Arizona, from Michigan, from Florida, and other cities in Texas. Would you all please stand if you're from out of town? We say real estate is local, and that's true, but our industry is national. And the fact that they came here tonight is a great tribute, not to Bob Hale, it is a great tribute to this incredible association. HR has been known, I mean, we were like a one-horse town. I mean, HR.com, HR.com, HR.com. But now we're known for NRG, the Young Realtor Group. We're known for consumer research that Marilyn talked about. We're known for incredible training on all kinds of tools. We're known for HAR TV. We have thousands of videos on YouTube that we produced. We're known for transaction management. We're known for agent ratings, and the list goes on. And all you have to do is read Inman News every day, and every few days there's going to be an article about whatever HAR has done recently. Now, all the time when you travel around, and Shad talked about it, and John Nichols talked about it, and others did, people ask, what the heck makes HAR so special? As somebody said, I think it was it Jim who went, we're sick and tired of hearing about HAR. But truthfully, and Jim, you're here, you know, you're there too. I mean, you're doing incredible things. But people ask, what makes this thing so special? And I could try to tell you what it is, but I think it'd be better if I showed you. If you're a past chairman or president of HAR, would you please stand? If you're a current officer or director or have been an officer or director, would you please stand? If you're a staff member, would you please stand? If your name is Jim or Jeremy, would you please stand? Now, HAR, to me, is like a beautiful home. Don't sit down, don't sit down. HAR is like a beautiful home. And everybody around the country wants to have a home like this. And each year, a new pool is added. And the next year, it's redecorated. And the next year, the kitchen is remodeled. And pretty soon, voila, you have HAR. But it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of dedicated people. This is the strength from which we have drawn our uniqueness, and elected leaders. Every elected leader at HAR has one thing in common. They have a vision, and they're not afraid to try new things, even if they make a mistake. And you have a staff who's totally professional and totally committed, who has the attitude. Robin Mick on the board of directors one day asked Taki Rizvi, can you do this? Taki said, we can do anything. Well, every other staff member is like, I'm not going to be outdone by Taki. We can do anything. And so today you have a staff who has the attitude, whatever you want, no matter what, we can do it. So please give this amazing group of individuals a round of applause, because this is what makes HAR what it is today. Susie, come up for just a second. And while Susie's coming up, let me ask the team that worked so hard to make tonight the amazing event it's been to stand, whether it's Claudia at the back or Araceli or Lori or Heather or David or Dana or where is everybody? I mean, so many people were involved in this. You put on one of these like, God, that was nice. Well, you have no idea what's in the background. And they kept me really in the dark. But Kat said she went through photos she didn't know we had at HAR. You know, there was a time when photos weren't digital and they're in boxes, and trying to find them is like a needle in a haystack. But anyway, Roz and Karen, the whole team is just absolutely phenomenal. But I always told Rob Cook I wanted to be the laziest, dumbest employee at HAR, and he said, "You've succeeded." So, but I just want to say, Susie and I are so blessed to have this amazing, real family that we have that brings us so much joy. And I can't imagine doing this without you. You're amazing. You're my love. And thank you for sharing the HR experience and sharing my life. Thank you.
Are you ready? Drive carefully. Thank you for being here.